Okay, now I'm taking my first bushing and I'm going to use that and insert it into the bottom. The first thing I want to do is use a little bit of the red container Loctite. I don't want to put a ton on there because we don't want to get this around in the hole to lock in our needle bar. So only on the outside. If you get any on the inside, you want to clean it off. Okay, now on the bushings that they sent me for this machine, it doesn't look like there is an up or down, but I do notice a little bit of a bevel, and I'm going to put that bevel at the bottom, coming out the bottom. So I'm going to slide that up, find the hole. My screws are loosened on the side, the 2 set screws. Slide that right up in there. Notice here where the bushing comes out the bottom that it's not flush with the white. I'm going to give a gentle tap, and I'm going to use a screwdriver taped to one of the old bushings. That way you have machined end against machined end. Okay. Now it's up in, it's flush, so we're good to go. That's going to dry with the Loctite for about 10 minutes. And let's go up to our top bushing and do that one. Okay, now we have our top bushing. Same thing, I'm going to put a little bit of the red Loctite around the outside, and I'm going to have the bevel facing up. Okay, again with the bevel facing up, I'm just going to gently set it in the hole. It will not go down in there easy. At least this one is not. I'm going to have a little cloth handy, so if any of that Loctite comes out, I'm going to wipe it away quickly so it doesn't get inside. Before I go up top to put in the top bushing, I'm going to go ahead and tighten the 2 set screws on the side. Now we're going to put the top bushing in using the machined end that's taped to the screwdriver. I set it there gently. I'm going to gently tap that down. Just a tip, when you're pounding this down with the old bushing on the end of the screwdriver, you're going to have to tap it fairly hard to start getting it down. This is one of the reasons why we use machined end against machined end, so that you don't damage the new bushing. Okay, now we almost have it flush. What I'm going to do before I finish getting it flushed is I want to remove the excess Loctite, so that way we don't get any inside that bushing hole. Okay, I removed the excess. I'm going to pound it the rest of the way. Just a smidge more. And now it's completely in. Now I've got it below the lip, so I think I've put it in just a little bit too far. I'm going to take my steel rod again. I'm going to go up. And tap it out just a little bit. Okay. And now it's flush. and seated. We're going to give that Loctite about 10 or 15 minutes just to set before we put in the new needle bar. Okay, now there's two things I can do. I've got my new needle bar. Remember to make sure to set your old needle bar aside so you don't get them mixed up. If I want to leave my hopping foot in place, I need to remove both screws and remove the thread guide. But instead of that, I'm just going to simply turn my hopping foot out of the way, find my hole at the bottom bushing, go up through. You may have to guide it through that top bushing, and then we see it coming out through the top. I'm going to rotate and then bring my assembly all the way to the top so that this bracket is coming straight up and down. I'm going to simply slide that in there, up and out of the way for the moment. Use my screwdriver, just snug that. Again, this is just for a second, because remember at this point we need to reset our timing. We also need to reset our needle bar height. So that's up, out of the way. Gonna lower that a little bit, and I want to test now, and that's nice and snug. There's just a tiny little bit of play as opposed to an 1/8 inch that it was with the old one, and that's exactly the way it needs to be. I'm gonna leave this set before I start doing the timing for probably about another half hour, an hour, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and put in a new hook assembly or your old hook assembly, whichever you prefer to do, and then I'm gonna go ahead and retime and reset my needle bar height just like on your care and feeding of your A1 DVD.